It has been several weeks since the government shut down Project X, a privately funded top-secret project designed to train super soldiers. A very limited amount of information concerning the details of Project X has been released to the public in order to protect its victims. Oh god, were they also sexual victims? Government officials have confirmed that the current whereabouts of its victims will not be shared with the public in an attempt to protect their identities. Like, don't think that the government has been raising child killers. Don't think the government has been raising child killers and they haven't also been diddling them. Because they have. Like, come on. Did I read that? Ren. After listening to the sound of the radio car droning on in the background for over an hour, the officer finally breaks the silence in the car. He doesn't turn to face Ren, but they briefly make eye contact through the car's rear mirror. Ren, we have arrived. Yes, sir. The officer hesitates for a moment, not moving from the car. I know this will be one of your most challenging tasks yet, but remember that this is your first and last chance at a normal life. It's unfortunate, but not all the victims from Project X were given this chance. Don't waste yours. The officer offers a crooked smile. Try your best to integrate into society and live a normal life. Who knows, maybe you'll even make some friends. Streaming so late at night? Not late for me, this is early for me. Live a normal life? Is that an order? Understood. It appears it is. Yes, sir. I'll do my best. Then let's go. I'll introduce you to your new family. The officer turns off the engine and steps out of the car. Ren promptly follows. The officer knocks on the door to one of the apartments. Within mere seconds, an excited old lady opens the door. Oh gosh, we have a grandmama? Oh well, let's take a look at grandmama. Oh, she's kind of cute. She's kind of cute. Her bone structure is kind of crazy. Ren, you're finally here. She ignores the officer, bringing Ren in for a tight hug. She looks kind of youthful for a grandma, honestly. Judging by her behavior, this must be the old woman who will be my foster guardian. I'm so glad to finally meet you. I've been waiting all day. What should I do in this situation? Should I wrap my arms around her as well? Ren glances at the officer for clues, but he offers no help. Thus, Ren decides the best course of action is to do nothing, letting his hands dangle at the side as the old lady holds him closer. Once she finally pulls back, she offers the officer an apologetic smile. Oh, but where are my manners? Come in. I'll serve you two some tea. That's very kind of you, but I won't be long. Don't be shy. I already prepared the tea. Come on in. The pair follow the old woman inside the living room. It's slightly cramped with 3 people in the room, but it's still more comfortable than anywhere Ren has ever lived before. Can't do a grandma voice? You telling me I can't do a grandma voice? How dare you? I'm done with you. Get out of my stream. Thank you for the tea, but as I've mentioned, I will not be staying for very long. I just have to go over the basic rules of the foster program with you one last time and confirm once again that you are willing and capable to perform as required. After that, I'll be on my way. Right. I'm all ears.
Very well. It's pretty much the same as what is already mentioned in the contract.
As the officer starts to ramble, Ren's attention is drawn elsewhere. His eyes dart around the room, burning every detail from the color of the sofas to the decorations into his memory. So this is what a normal home looks like?
You want those purple couches? Those are some ugly couches, hun. Come on, you gotta have better taste than that. Sorry to Grandma, but those are not cute couches.
Do you like it, Ren? Ren nods. He has no specific thoughts on it, but if this is what a normal house is supposed to look like, then it's good enough for him. It's fine. Good. I know it's not much, but feel free to make yourself comfortable. This is your home now as well, after all. Yes, ma'am. No need to be so formal, Ren. Just call me Granny. Yes, understood, Grammy.
Did I just call her Grammy? Not Granny.
The officer laughs awkwardly, patting Ren on the back.
He's a fast learner, very obedient, shouldn't cause you any trouble.
Oh, I don't mind a little trouble. What's a murder here or there? My grandson never does anything out of the ordinary, so it gets a little boring around here sometimes anyway. The officer and the old woman who insists upon being called Granny share a small smile.
No, they share a laugh.
Share a small laugh. Ren doesn't quite understand why they're laughing, but he mentally notes that this must be normal behavior in a normal home. This might be different from my previous tasks, but I've never failed a mission before. I will succeed without failure this time as well. 87, 88, 89. Ren rises for another push-up with little effort before lowering himself down on the ground again.
At least we have some kind of, context for why the main character will undoubtedly have a six-pack without even... Because in most yaoi games, somehow everyone has a six-pack even though they don't work out. At least, he's actually working out.
He repeats the process until he hits his goal, never slowing down. 99 and 100. Ren grabs a bottle of water from the desk, downing it. His eyes scan over the room from the weird yellow curtains to the red laptop on his desk. Granny insists I should use the room as I see fit, but what does that mean? He had never had to use a laptop before outside his tasks, and the books stored in the shelves are all manga. What does she hope that he will use them for? Entertainment purposes? I'm not sure what is entertaining about playing computer games or reading manga, but if it is required for this mission, I will do it. Yoo-hoo! Ren! Granny knocks just once before she steps inside the room. You're already awake! Are you always up this early? It's almost 7 a.m. Yes, but it's a Sunday. Kazuya won't be up until another 2 hours at least. Ooh, is that my sexy stepbrother? It is. Incest is perfectly normal. If you'd prefer, I can sleep longer in the morning. Oh no, it's the weekend, so it's entirely up to you whenever you want to wake up. I was just wondering if there was a reason. I'm used to training in the morning, that's all. Why would you train in this tiny room? You should go out for a run. Is that allowed? Yeah, as long as you're safe, why wouldn't it be?
They're not related by blood? I know. That's the one bad thing. Only if they were related by blood, then it'd be really hot.
Anyway, since you're up so early, would you like to help me make breakfast? You don't have to. It's up to you, but I think it would be nice. Yes. Ren doesn't waste any time marching off to the kitchen.
There'd better be a granny route? Oh my god. Now you're making me think there should be too. Oh my god. Why isn't there a granny route?
Ren has only left his room and Granny has asked him to join her for meals for the past 2 days. It's the first time that he is helping her prepare food. I never got to ask, what is your favorite type of food? Favorite type of food? Granny's question catches Ren off guard. He stares blankly at her for a few seconds before he answers. I have no preference. Oh, I see. Is that something normal people have? A favorite type of food? It depends on the person, but yes, usually. For example, my favorite type of food is soba noodles, and Kazuya really likes dumplings. Ren nods, making a mental note to remember this new piece of information. I see. I will find a favorite type of food then. Let me know when you do, and I'll make it for you. Now let's see what you can help out with. Ah, right. Do you know how to boil eggs?
Fave food is Hawaiian pizza? Hun, why you gotta be posting that in the chat? Why you just... that children are watching.
Yes, I do. Great! You can boil some eggs for me then. Understood. I'll prepare a fire right away.
Oh my gosh, look at him pull out his knife. He's ready to cut Grandma! Grandma, run! Run, Grandma!
Ren grabs a package of eggs from the refrigerator, heading towards the garden. Wait! A fire? You can't just start a fire wherever you want. Then you have already made a fire? Where is the fire? There is no fire. You just boil the eggs using a stove. Why would I use a stove when I can make a fire? You know what? Never mind the eggs. I'll boil them myself. As Granny grabs a pack of eggs from him and starts heating up some water on the stove, she appears to relax. She turns to Ren with a tired smile. You still want to help, right? Why don't you prepare the table for me instead? Alright. Ren has never helped prepare a table before, but he remembers how Grandma has set it up on previous mornings.
The boy can kill a man, but can't boil an egg. Unfortunately. And he can probably kill a man, but he can't romance his brother, you know? Crazy how it'd be like that.
Is it your first time setting up a table? Yes. Does it not look good? My cat just slipped on the table. Oh no, it looks just fine. I was just curious.
Boiled eggs sound good right now? Oh, now you're making me hungry.
Granny is always curious about things for some reason. Does she never run out of questions to ask? So it's your first time with a lot of things, huh? I always ate alone, so there was no reason to set up the table, and I didn't have time to either. I'm happy I'm able to teach you new things then. Granny continues to chat about random topics that come to her mind. Ren politely answers when he feels obligated to, but he doesn't have much to add to the conversation. Living a normal life is supposed to be simple, but it's surprisingly inconvenient, and there's so many things that Ren doesn't understand, even though it's his 3rd day living in this place.
Can Grandma be our first time? Maybe she'll teach us how to have sex. Maybe. You know? Because that's what grandmas do, right?
For example, he doesn't understand why Granny insists to eat all their meals together and chat about trivial stuff. He was raised to believe such things were a waste of time, but it's apparently a very vital part of leading a normal life. Since it's Sunday, maybe Kazuya will join us for breakfast for once. Kazuya, that's Granny's grandson. Ren has only caught brief glimpses of him in the corridor. Kazuya doesn't join them for breakfast because he's always in a rush to school or soccer practice in the mornings, according to Granny. Granny also says she wants us to be friends, though I'm not sure what sort of interactions that requires. Does that include sucking his dick? Penetrating him anally? Granny, I'm on it. I will complete this mission. After a short while, Granny lets out a relieved sigh. Alright, I'm almost ready. Ren, will you be a dear and fetch Kazuya for me? Understood. Ren doesn't hesitate, heading over to Kazuya's room. Ren knocks on the door once, then twice. No response. I will try again. Ren gives it another shot, knocking on the door again. A grumpy voice shouts out from the other side of the door.
What? Well, I guess I haven't really seen him yet, so it's kind of hard to give him a voice. This voice will be subject to change. Freaking hell. It's like 8 in the morning.
It's actually 8:32.
What do you want?
It's time for breakfast.
Oh great, it's you.
Ren waits in silence for a few moments, then knocks on the door again.
Shit, you're stubborn.
It's time for breakfast.
Yeah, alright, I heard you the first time. A British accent? Oh my god, do I really want to, like, destroy the Let's Play by giving him a British accent? Because I think he's going to be a main character that we're going to talk to a lot. And I might be going for him first in the romance. I might be going for his route first.
Ren hears some shuffling around and a couple of curse words before the door slams open. Kazuya storms out, bumping into his shoulder.
We can give it... Ooh, so cute. We can give one of the side characters a British accent. No, I think Kazuya's gonna get the annoying voice. Can't believe this.
Ren follows silently behind.
He looks kind of pissed off. Kind of sassy, yeah.
Good morning, Kazuya. I prepared a big breakfast today, and Ren helped as well.
Great.
Did you get the chance to introduce yourself to Ren yet?
Wait, that's the wrong voice.
Did you get the chance to introduce yourself to Ren yet? I've told him lots about you, but I don't think you two have properly met.
Did you mention I don't like him? You bitch, you don't even know me! You haven't even tasted my cum, how are you gonna be coming in here telling me you don't like me?
Kazuya!
What? It's true.
Kazuya turns his gaze to Ren, glaring holes at him.
You hear that? I don't like you, and I don't want to be your stupid friend. Bruh.
Understood. Don't listen to him, Ren. He's got a terrible attitude, but I'm sure you'd still make lovely friends. Ren is confused, unsure about whose order to prioritize. I don't understand the order. Would you still like me to befriend him or not?
See, he doesn't even know what the word friend means, so just let it go already, Grandma.
Granny looks frustrated, but she doesn't say anything. She gestures for everyone to sit down and dig in instead. It's a quiet breakfast, unusually enough. Granny doesn't say as much as she otherwise does, save for a few comments here and there. Is school going well? I guess. What about soccer practice? Yeah, it's fine. Do you have a match coming up soon? Maybe, I guess. Ren doesn't speak a word during the entire exchange, quietly shoveling down his portion.
You're getting Brayden flashbacks? Good. Good. He seems kind of annoying like Brayden.
Very good, Ren. Don't be shy. Eat to your heart's content. Yes. Kazuya stares at Ren in disbelief. I've never seen a person eat so freaking fast. That's because you enjoy my cooking, right, Ren? Ren does not reply, shoveling down more food.
Kazuya is wearing a ring on his middle right finger. Isn't that a symbol of being ace? What? Is it? I did not know that.
Jeez. Kazuya stands up, even though half of his food still sits untouched on his table, on his plate. I'm done. Already? But you didn't even touch your eggs yet. I'm not hungry. Your new pet can have the rest. Kazuya leaves, ignoring Granny's protest, and she shies.
She shies? Is that what I said?
What a stubborn kid. Just like his parents. I should have beat him more when he first came here. Maybe then he'd stop being such a little bitch. When you finish, Ren, don't worry about helping me with the dishes. You should go out and explore the neighborhood. Explore? Yes, you haven't been outside for days. I'd love to show you around the neighborhood myself, but my old legs can't stand much walking, and Kazuya is the way he is. A bitch, you know? Anyway, it'd be good for you to get some fresh air and familiarize yourself with the neighborhood. That must be my task for the day then, scouting. Understood. After breakfast, Ren sets out on a scouting mission around the neighborhood. Granny's apartment complex appears to be the largest building in the neighborhood. The other buildings are regular medium-sized to smaller houses. There's also a park near the center of the neighborhood, and a small convenience store right next to it. Aside from that, Ren does not notice anything noteworthy. I should organize this information and report my findings to Granny as soon as possible. As Ren is about to head back, something unexpected occurs.
Who's this?
Sorry, I'm in a hurry. A boy drives past him, rushing to cross the street from the corner of his eye. Ren notices a car driving down the road at a dangerous speed. The boy on the bicycle is barely balancing himself, and what appears to be a rather large package, his eyes not focused on the road. Ren glances back at the car, locating the driver. Judging by his posture, it's likely that he's occupied in some way, his only free hand steering the wheel to change lanes. As the boy, not too far from Ren, begins to waver on his bike with a surprised sound, stopping on the middle... Did I butcher this sentence? As the boy, not too far from Ren, begins to waver on his bike with a surprised sound, stopping on the middle of the road of the street, Ren leans forward. That is a mouthful of a sentence. I didn't even know what was going on when I read that. The bike is useless. It will not result in casualties. The package is of unknown contents. To ensure the safety of the people around, it's recommended to avoid it. It is recommended to avoid it damaging in any way. That can't be right. The package is of unknown content to ensure the safety of the people around it. It is recommended to avoid... Yeah, there's an extra it in there. The boy is human. He has the highest priority. As there are no obstacles between himself and the youth, Ren takes the shortest way directly forward. The biker is clutching the package, which already assures its safety, so Ren opts to clutching at the young man's clothes. While not in the best method, it is effective enough, and with violent pull, both the boy and the package are dragged backward, leaving the bike to fall on the ground. There's an ear-piercing screech when the car tries to brake suddenly, turning halfway and slamming into the bike, which gives a loud crunching under its wheel. Ren finds himself stabilizing the terrified youth, who slowly turns to look at him, eyes glistening and hands clutching the package. Would you like another package to clutch? Oh, goodness. Oh, I would have dolled myself up more if I knew someone as cute as you would be here. Oh God. Oh. Why are you not a love interest? Oh dear. Kuro's favorite character already? Yes, he is. He's so cute. Look at his cute, precious eyes. Look at his cute hair. Oh, he's just a little cutie patootie. Kazuya better? You're banned from the stream. Kazuya is not better. Kazuya's a little bitch. You. Screams erupt from everywhere, and the people around begin to move. Ren frowns. Chaos is unwanted. If the people are in such a panic, how are they able to quickly assess the situation? This might have been... A soft frown settles onto Ren's face as he lets the boy slide to the ground, his eyes fixed under the driver of the car who is yet to move. Oh, well, here I am trying to give him a voice, but he's trying to run from me. A car trying to run a youth over with a package. Ren bends slowly, his hand moving to his ankles where... what a mess. Is everyone alright? Is that what I usually do for the hunter voice? What a mess. Is everyone alright? The sudden appearance of a young man causes Ren to jolt back warily. The person in front of him gives him what appears to be a well-practiced smile, his posture relaxed. Wait. Oh wait, this is a different person. Because yeah, the other one ran away. Oh my god, now I have to decide what voice to give him. He just sort of appeared here. God, he's so tall, look at him. Hello, model. Look at your model figure. An accident in the middle of the day. What a mess. I've noticed you drive around the whole day. It must be your last package, right? How unlucky. What? Is he talking to us? No. Maybe? No. The young man moves past Ren, quickly squatting down next to the still frightened youth, and accurately pressing a few spots on his body. The movements are trained and orderly like a doctor, so Ren does not move and merely watches. The boy as well allows himself to be prodded. Well, just allow strangers to prod you on the roadside. That doesn't ring, that's not stranger danger or anything. Seeing that the boy is intact, the young man stands up again. You've done well reacting so fast. Leave the driver to me. Understood. It appears that this wasn't a planned attack after all. He's been carrying the package around for a longer time already. The brown-haired man walks towards the car with ease, knocking on the window and saying something to the driver of the car until he steps out. Every time Kuro says package? What did I do? I'm just saying the package. They exchange some quick words and the young man pulls a modern-looking cell phone out of his jacket. The situation appears to be under control, and the screaming people have finally calmed down as well.
I'm assuming that's the delivery driver? Or the delivery boy, I should say.
So cool. Hearing a mumble, Ren looks down into the youth at his feet. Bright blue eyes are staring at him with such a bright sparkle, Ren finds himself feeling awkward. That was so...
Whoa. What? What the? What? Is it... Did I select auto? What's going on? What? What? The text was just skipping ahead, and I wasn't doing anything. What?
That was so...
I think this is just how it is. What? It's just... It does not want to wait for me to read it. I guess he's supposed to be talking frantically and quickly, maybe? Maybe. Yeah, I think that's what was happening. I didn't get a chance to read it, though, so...
Ren stood frozen, overwhelmed. Why is he asking me questions and not waiting for me to answer? Should I memorize the questions in order, but when does he expect me to answer? The youth picks up a cap that has fallen down next to him, dusting it off and placing it on his head before jumping to his feet, wavering unsteadily for a bit. Seriously, thank you so much. That was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I believe it is not that cold currently. You're so funny. I don't think I've seen you around here before, though. Are you new here? Yes, I relocated here 3 days ago. Oh, I thought so. Well, my name's Sorai.
Wait, Sorai? No, Sora. That's an exclamation point.
I handle the deliveries around here, so you might be seeing me more often. Let's get along. Sora holds out a hand. This should be a handshake. What length and strength would be suitable for this kind of action? Robbing Ren of any more debating by just grabbing his hand and shaking it, Sora shows a bright happy smile. Suddenly his eyes go wide and he makes a small awe, hurriedly bending down to check his package, and then sighing in relief. He picks it up, clutching it under his arm, and flashes a smile.
He must have a big package to be able to stretch it all the way from his crotch to his arm.
Thank God, this one's alright too. I'm finally finished after this. I'm sorry, I need to hurry right now, but I'll definitely repay you next time I see you. Tell me how you did that then, too, okay? Leaving Ren no time to answer, Sora runs off, shouting something about his bike back to him, but already too far away to hear. Did he not want me to answer his questions? Looking around, Ren scans the situation. The driver is still talking to the young man from before, and people are already bringing the destroyed bike away.
Hello, Isaac.
It appears the situation is under control.
You're at work this morning.
Well, well, well. Deciding that this is not his current task, Ren slowly steps away, determining which way the apartment is and moving towards it in uniform steps. It doesn't take long for him to notice another pair of steps is following him, always at the same distance. There's no sense of hostility given that this is an area I'm not well acquainted with. I should watch to see what happens first. So as to not alert the person following him, who admittedly does not seem to be hiding it, Ren does not turn around but instead continues to walk. The steady footsteps follow him, never stopping and mixing between the sound of his own. To Ren's confusion,
Well, I guess someone's just following us, and we're not too bothered.
To Ren's confusion, Granny is outside the building when he approaches. As she has done before, she greets him with a hug, at which Ren holds perfectly still. There you are. I hope nothing happened. He has already noted that Granny specifically enjoys a lot of close contact, and while he holds the belief that this might be a trait common to women of her age, he has not acquired proof yet. Oh, and this? Leaning slightly back from him, she glances over his shoulder to the figure behind him.
Who's this? Is this the tall guy? I don't know.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I did not mean to click that. Yeah, it is the tall guy.
My, Haruto, we just talked on the phone not too long ago, didn't we? Haruto? So you have met Ren already? You came together? No. Ren watches as Granny stretches her back before moving to the young man who had been following him and clasping his hands in what he judges to be a friendly gesture. He must not be a threat then. That's a bit too much to say, but we saw each other just now, and I followed him back to make sure I'm on the right way. Granny frowns in worry, glancing back and forth between Haruto and Ren. Did something happen? Only something minor, nothing to worry about. Are you certain? The boy hasn't been here for a long time. Maybe I shouldn't have... Please, do not worry. He behaved perfectly well. I will tell you all about it later. Let's go inside first, so you can sit down. Us young lot shouldn't be so rude to a lady. Granny laughs happily, letting herself be led inside the building, obviously pacified. Ren watches, observing the newcomer's every move. When Granny goes to make the tea, the man turns towards him. Nice to meet you, Ren. My name is Haruto, and from now on we'll be spending a lot of time together. In fact, I'm moving in here today.
What the heck? Why are you moving in, sis? How old are you?
Ren blinks at the man, displaying a slight look of confusion on his otherwise calm face. I'm part of the program that sent you here. It's my job to make sure you don't do stupid stuff like setting fires in the garden. I still believe a stove would not have been needed. What? We are talking about boiling eggs, are we not? Right, sure, maybe. Anyhow, the program wishes for each of you who have been given a chance at new life to have some sort of mentor. We are basically here to aid you in learning and stopping you from displaying destructive or violent behavior. Granny is of course aware of that and was kind enough to offer me a room to stay right here.
Only 20? He does look way older.
Anyways, I'm here for you, so come to me if you need anything. Haruto's grin does a weird turn, his eyes glowing with something akin to amusement. He leans his body forward in a posture Ren finds rather unfamiliar, but it's just surprisingly close considering they are just talking. Given the distance between them right now, a conversation would most likely be hindered, so it does not appear to be something he has done in order to better their communication. Is this a normal behavior? Am I expected to do the same? Trying to follow his opposite's example, Ren slowly leans forward as well, missing the surprise in Haruto's eyes.
Are they about to kiss?
Anything. It is, of course, important to make sure that there is no misunderstanding in the scope of Haruto's work and appointed tasks. To be aware of who has which To be aware of who has which appointed area is important to avoid disturbing someone unnecessarily. That is I think that's correct, but it's still confusingly worded. Still, it appears that either the question or Ren's attempt to follow his actions had not been completely correct, as Haruto jolts backwards, his face slightly red in color. Maybe he has scoliosis? What? Who has scoliosis? This does not appear to be correct. I should try to understand my mistakes as not to repeat them next time. I apologize. I'm not yet completely acquainted with all the customs of a normal life. Oh. Haruto coughs, leaning far back into his chair. Ren waits, expecting him to continue the conversation, which he ultimately doesn't. At this moment, Granny walks back inside, carrying a tray with tea and happily presenting it to their guests. The topic derails, leaving Ren to sit at the side, listening intently. It will be rather lively in here again, now that you and Ren are here. I hope you're not causing any trouble. Of course not. Besides, I'm happy to have some young men of Kazuya's age around. Get along well with him, won't you? We got it, Granny. Wink, wink. Haruto smiles awkwardly. I will be rather focused on watching Ren. This is my work after all, but if we do meet, I will make sure to get along with him. From the behavior Kazuya has displayed these 3 days, he prefers being inside his room though. Maybe I can use this to see how Haruto gets along with Kazuya and follow his example. I've already got your room key. I didn't give one to Ren or Kazuya, and I don't think you'll need it. But I wouldn't want you to worry about any confidential information. That's very good of you. Thanks, Granny. Ren, since you will be going to school soon, make sure you ask Haruto or me for help if you need it, alright? We are here for you. Understood. I am currently in discussion with the director as to how we will deal with the situation at hand. We've also made sure we will not inform anyone else of Ren's identity. Good, good. Finally, he'll be able to have a normal life. Well, goodbye, Isaac. Ren sits up a bit straighter. A normal life. I've underestimated this task. Every time Kuro says Granny, you're reminded of that game? What game? But as it was given to him, failure is not an option. He will carry it out to his superior's absolute satisfaction. And soon he will be tested on how much he has learned about being normal at this place called school. After an introduction to an older man that Granny called the director, a tour through the school specifically for Ren started. Familiarizing himself with his surroundings, Ren follows the director with orderly steps. Director. And as you can see, this separate building here holds a large hall. Any important school-wide events will be held here. For all students and teachers to gather at one place, the security must be high. The director does not look worried. I will bring you to your class now. You don't have to worry. I'm sure you'll get along well. God, my reading. Yeah, Creative Commons, maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Try your best to fit in. Ren straightens his back, breathing out slowly. It appears that my first test is fast approaching. As a place where he is going to spend a lot of time in the future, fitting in well with his class determines the success of any upcoming tests. There's no room for failure. I understand I've already familiarized myself with my classmates using the documents you have given to Granny.
Already? It was supposed to help you learn the names, but if you've already finished... Well, I guess that's good then.
Ren tries to soften the sound of his footsteps within the emptiness of the hallway, as the director's echoing steps feel uncomfortable in Ren's ears. Though through the closed doors, voices can be heard, mostly that of adults, sometimes younger and less confident voices. The director stops in the middle of the hallway, turning to face Ren, his hands clasped behind his back in ease.
As I said, no need to worry.
The director raises his hands to gently knock twice against the door.
Are you a Visco girl? What the hell are you talking about? I don't know. Who's this? Please, come in.
The sliding door rattles when the when the director pulls it open. Stepping into the room, Ren follows closely behind, his eyes moving across the students whose eyes have gathered on him. Curiosity mostly. No one is showing hostility yet. Partial wariness at most, but this is all natural.
Is that... Kazuya?
The small sound reaches Ren's ears only due to the silence in the class. Kazuya is sitting farther in the back. He's the only one whose eyes are not on Ren. Rather, he's turned, staring out of the window. Annoyance. Kazuya does not like me. The voice of the teacher sounds, making Ren turn to focus on the adult woman in front of him instead. Director, this is Ren you're bringing me, isn't it? Her voice is kind and gentle. She smiles.
I'll be leaving him in your care as discussed. Ren, this is your teacher. She'll be showing you the ropes.
Yes. The director and the teacher exchange a few quick words under everyone's gaze before the director excuses himself, leaving the room and pulling the door closed behind him. Now everyone's attention is focused solely on Ren. Some bolder students are leaning forward on their desks, watching closely. Others are leaning back in their seats, arms crossed. Alright everyone, this is Ren. As I've mentioned before, he's your new classmate starting today. He's from overseas, so some of our customs are still foreign to him. Be nice to him and explain things if he doesn't understand anything, alright? The class echoes a yes while whispers start to break out. Ren, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself? Please elaborate on what information you'd like me to give. Scattered laughter appears at his weird phrasing, especially some of the taller boys, those with a haughty look on their faces, seem to find it amusing. No need to be so formal. Just tell us what you like, or anything you want to say, really. What I like? I assume this must be something akin to the favorite food Granny was talking about. My name is Ren. I am 17 years old. I am a student of this class now. I've yet to find a favorite food. There is an uniform reaction of stunned silence from the class. Ren glances to his side where his teacher is standing, then he looks over to Kazuya, who still refuses to meet his eye. Judging by the way everyone talks and sits, I still have a lot to learn. I should watch Kazuya and Haruto more closely. Making a mental note to himself that something about his introduction wasn't correct, Ren decides to use his male classmate as an example in the future. But either his posture or words, or possibly both, has elicited an unnatural reaction from these students. That's what the awkward faces of the teacher is telling him anyway. Now that that's done, why don't you sit on the free seat in the back? I heard that you live in the same building as Kazuya, so he can help you if there's something you don't understand yet. Kazuya's seat is close to the free one in the back. Nodding to his teacher, Ren grasps his bag and slowly moves through the rows of students. All of them shrink slightly back when he musters them all, judging their potential threat as quickly as possible. To ask others for help. I've heard this sentence often these past days. Is this expected to be done by a normal person? In which cases exactly should I ask? When do I need help? When should I manage on my own? A slight confusion and unrest settles inside Ren as he sits down on his seat. The students he has passed directly are all stiffly staring to the front. The others still glance at him. Kazuya is not looking at me. Does not liking a person mean you don't wish to have them appear in your sight? I have been told to ask Kazuya, Granny, and Haruto for any questions I don't know the answer to. As this concerns Kazuya, it's probably better to ask someone else. Thinking of Haruto, the young man who's sent to his side specifically as a mentor by the program. Asking him should be the best course of action, aiding me in my task to become normal as the order that was given to him. The shuffling of the teacher in front eventually stops, and so does the whispering in the class. With everyone focusing their attention on the teacher now, Ren does the same. The first class in his life begins with mathematics. The pained look on everyone's faces does not bode well. When the bell finally rings, accompanied by a chorus of relieved sighs, Ren joins in right away. He has been educated in a number of different subjects, but the horror he saw just now, he hadn't expected anything like it. Is it going to be like this every day? I'll have to practice a lot to catch up? Being left behind is unacceptable. With his head still buzzing from the wave of formulas the teacher threw at him, Ren looks around to find Kazuya. It's break time, which according to his observations should be very useful for bonding with others. When he looks, the only thing he sees is Kazuya's red hair, vanishing around the corner of the door. Standing up, Ren hurries to follow him. The hallway isn't large, so it shouldn't be too hard to find Kazuya in theory anyway. With nearly every student leaving their class to either switch rooms or just go outside for a while, the hallway is filled to the brim with people. Despite Kazuya's red hair standing out most amongst the others, it's impossible to follow him without pushing the other students away. Maybe I can find out where he usually spends his break though, at least the general area. We're gonna have to do a little investigation. Ren walks on, maneuvering himself through the mass of students, towards the end of the hallway and taking the stairs down. Kazuya is long out of sight, but instead he finds another familiar person. I truly do look forward to working with you. Wait, what? Why is Haruto at school too, honey? I'll try my best for as long as I'm here. You're 20. I'm sure you will do well. All three adults turn their heads as Ren approaches, his steps announcing his presence to them. The eyes of the male teacher look him up and down, whereas Haruto just gives a casual smile. You, I believe you're the transfer student, right? It's rare to get a transfer student in the middle of the year. The class you're in is one I teach sometimes. Nice to meet you. So you're the new boy. Your name was Ren, right? Hello. Good morning, teachers. Answering as politely as possible, Ren lowers his head slightly to show deference. The teachers look pleased, relax slightly, smiles forming on their faces. Ren glances over to Haruto, whose posture is the perfect example of polite and friendly. Good morning, my name is Haruto. I am new here, just like you. Haruto's the school nurse? Is he? Is he trained to be a nurse? He's the new substitute teacher here.
Nope, he's a sub-teacher.
He'll likely teach your class as well at some point. Yes.
Two new additions to our school at such an unexpected time. Let's all get along. I am sure we will.
It appears he is acting as if we are not acquainted. If the program has assigned him as my mentor, his behavior should set an example for mine. If he acts like this, I should play along. As if sensing Ren's questioning gaze, Haruto's bright eyes turned back to him.
I'm lucky the director here has been so kind to allow me to earn some more experience here.
The director knows about my program, so he has allowed Haruto to infiltrate? To watch over me, perhaps?
Experience is the most valuable thing for a young man like you.
The male teacher playfully smacks Haruto's back, the sound much too loud to indicate a lighter touch.
Let me show you to the staff room. The break will be over soon. You should get back to your class, Ren.
Understood. Thank you for reminding me. The teachers laugh lightly at Ren's respectful answer, dragging Haruto off down the hallway. Haruto winks with one eye before raising his hand to his lips, making a weird motion and then waving. Another custom I'm not aware of. Usually, uncovering your mouth would imply not talking, but he uncovered it right away, so did it mean the opposite? The small wave was obviously to say goodbye. Staring into the hallway, Ren can't help but wonder if there's some kind of guidebook on normal behavior anywhere. For now, there isn't any time to waste, though. If he's late to class, that truly would be a thing to be ashamed of.
Oops, I skipped one.
Sprinting up the stairs is no problem for the trained youth who easily takes several steps at a time. Some girls watch him but turn away hurriedly when he meets their eyes. There are a lot of people who watch me. Is this because I'm a new student? The way back to class is shorter now that the students have already returned to their classes, leaving the hallway considerably emptier. Ren slows his steps, using his last 2 minutes to memorize the number of doors and the small signs displaying the class number. With his eyes moving around, they pass over the windows and stop.
No, Ren, it's because you're hot? Maybe it's because he's the only dark-skinned fella around here. I don't know.
Is that Sora?
Oh my god, Sora?
A figure is moving around the courtyard outside. So he goes to this school as well. Ren approaches the window, but the figure's already vanished into a building. Rats. If it was him, I will see him again.
Don't I wish there were black silhouettes? Absolutely.
Turning on his heels, Ren enters the class as the last person, pulling the door shut to the sound and sitting down in his seat to the sound of the bell ringing. Thankfully, the day's other classes are not as difficult. Especially biology proves to be an easy topic to Ren. Human anatomy is his forte after all.
Ooh. Holy shit, does he know every human bone? That's creepy.
The student's voice is quiet, but Ren hears it anyway. A vast knowledge of anatomy is one of the first things we were taught. It's needed to work efficiently. Very impressive. Are you interested in anatomy, Ren? Ren deliberates the question for a moment. I am. I'm currently learning about the muscle structure of humans. Granny has books on all kinds of topics at home. Anatomy is something he already learned a lot about during the project. Do you want to be a doctor one day, or is it just a random interest? I find it useful for dismantling.
Dismantling what exactly?
The sentence is barely audible, though some students softly shiver as if they heard it. Is that so? Anyway, as Ren here has correctly named just now, the bones inside your hand are called. The class continues despite the slightly awkward atmosphere. Despite already knowing everything the teacher is talking about, Ren listens intently, comparing his own knowledge to what is being taught here at school.
I'm sure that, all this knowledge in biology will come in handy for something else, though. We're gonna be an expert.
At the same time, he watches Kazuya from the corner of his eye, wanting to learn as much as possible about the boy he is expected to get along with. I need to know more about him in order to understand his behavior. Kazuya shows himself as good, above average student, trying his best to participate in the class. Maybe due to his slightly aggressive personality, he doesn't appear to have any close friends in class, though he isn't being ostracized either. Kazuya doesn't look bothered by it though. Actually, Kazuya appears rather at ease, not being constantly surrounded by talking people, contrary to some of his classmates. Ren as the new student attracts a lot of curiosity, but even in the small breaks, no one crowds around his table. At most, one or two come over to give him information about the next lesson. When the bell rings the end of their day, the students nearly jump out of their seats, stretching their backs and showing off faces of relief like they've just finished a marathon. So this was a whole school day? It is shorter than I imagined. And there are a lot of breaks, not very productive. Since school is over, Ren glances towards Kazuya's seat.
Stay hydrated? I know, my mouth is so dry right now. Ugh.
He hurried outside again. Instead of forcing himself through the crowded hallway, Ren relaxes in his seat, listening to the bustling of students until it calms down. Only then does he stand up, picks up his bag, and makes his way out of the school with relaxed steps. The eastern gate is closed to the apartment building. I should inform myself on whether using it is acceptable or not. The courtyard emptied out considerably compared to a few minutes ago, allowing Ren to take his time and look around. Granny has told me to spend time outside if I want to do so, as long as I return in time for dinner. This is the direction Sora came from. Knowing he has an ample amount of time left, Ren decides to look around. From what he knows, there shouldn't be anything of interest in the corner he is approaching, and yet he can hear several voices. Hearing the agitated state the voices are in, Ren frowns and slightly quickens his steps.
Student A?
Listen here now, I told you to buy it, didn't I? And if I tell you to do it, then you will. You do as I say, you hear me?
You don't want bad stuff to happen to you, do you?
The loudest voice is an aggressive growl, accompanied by the sound of something hitting a wall. Finally able to see what's around the corner, Ren does a quick intake of the situation.
Is it Sora getting bullied? I knew it. Oh, Sora!
But save him! Sora's cowering nervously, his back close to the wall, and in front of him are three larger and probably older students. Get away from him! You can't gang rape him here! Only I can do that! Get lost! One of them has his hand slammed to the side of Sora's head, Kabedon, his face showing a dangerous sneer. But I... Extortion is a crime. Sora! Hearing someone call out to their victim, the three students turn around with angry faces and immediately freeze. Ren examines them up and down, deciding quickly that they are no actual threat to him and that he can take them out in a matter of seconds. For some reason, the three step back hastily. He brought a knife to school. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. I think carrying a knife in general is just illegal in Japan. What? Who are you? Ren, a transfer student. But you can just call me your worst nightmare. That one there is their leader. Once he's taken out, the other two are likely to surrender. He takes a step forward. The three take a step back. Why are you running? I'm just gonna waste one of you. Whatever guys, we're leaving. Seeing the students almost run away, Ren debates chasing them, He so longs to spill blood, but abandons the possibility in favor of greeting Sora like a normal person would. But he can't help that he had an itch to commit murder again. It's been so long. Normal people greet other normal people they are acquainted with. Hello. You are so amazing. Wow, this is the second time you've helped me.
He keeps just like advancing the dialogue on his own. Damn you, Sora.
You just looked at them. How did you make them go away? Man, I wish I could do that too. Oh wait, you're going to school here. That means we go to the same school. That's great.
Oops.
Is he still not wanting me to answer his questions? Why is he talking so fast? Dude, you are like my personal superhero right now. Sora looks like he's barely able to control himself from pouncing on Ren. I really don't know how to repay you. Thanks. I would like to invite you to a meal or something, but Sora rubs his neck, awkwardly laughing. Maybe I can thank you in some way that doesn't cost a week's salary.
A week? How are you gonna be making... How does one little meal, treating us to one little meal, gonna be a week's salary?
Help you out with your studies or something like that. Maybe I can ask him about Kazuya. He looks like a good, normal person. In that case, may I ask your opinion on something?
A date? Oh, absolutely. I need a date with this little boy. I mean, this young man.
Sure, anything you need. Sora gazes at Ren with expectant eyes, his face showing an eager expression. How does one get along with another person? That's an unexpectedly serious question. I've never really thought about that. Are you having trouble becoming friends with someone you like? Or is this about getting a date? Because if it is, then I really seriously can't help. Because I've got, like, no experience. And yet you just hit on me just now. Date? Is it about becoming friends with someone? Oh, okay, phew. So, are you thinking of how to talk to them? It's a guy, I guess. Yes, he dislikes me. Heh, you might just be imagining that. No, he said it so himself. Oh. Sora rubs his neck again. Well, I guess you should talk it out first. Ask him why he dislikes you. I don't know, maybe it's just a misunderstanding or something minor. Anyway, you can figure out what to do when you know what his problem is with you. Although asking him directly might be awkward, maybe someone who knows you both can help. A mutual friend. In what way would such a person help? Sora hums thoughtfully, looking at the sky for a moment. It's just, sometimes outsiders find it easier to see the problem and find a solution. I see. I will consider your suggestions. Ren pauses for a moment before deciding that this conversation is similar to Sora doing him a favor. Thank you. If someone does you a favor, you have to thank them. That's what Granny said.
Pretend to help him get a date, then date him yourself? Ooh, I hope Sora does that.
Unexpectedly, Sora beams at Ren's words. So I was able to help you? Nice. I'm happy if I can repay your help. Whenever you need anything, just ask. Ah, which class do you go to, by the way? The two students quickly exchange their information, Ren marking Sora's classroom on the map inside his head. The information might become useful. Man, I'd love to stay to chat with you longer, but I gotta get going. I still have work today. Understood. Then, see you tomorrow? Yes, goodbye. Sora hurries off after glancing at his wristwatch, mumbling something under his breath.
You don't want to be friends with Kazuya?
For a moment, Ren just watches his running figure before he returns to the situation at hand. Off to bed, gotta wake up in 5 hours. Okay. Sayonara. Oyasumi nasai. I could try to talk to Kazuya directly, or ask someone we both know. That would most likely be Haruto, just as I thought. Asking him is a valid option. Which would be the better course of action?
Save? Alright, go to talk to Kazuya.
After careful consideration, Ren decides that the best course of action is to speak with Kazuya directly. Only Kazuya himself will be able to explain his dislike for Ren after all. The sooner I find out the reason for his dislike, the sooner I'll be able to devise a plan to change his opinion of me and fulfill Granny's order. But first, I'll have to figure out his location. Ren recalls Granny mentioning that Kazuya has soccer practice near the local park on most weekdays, so Ren heads straight to the park to wait for the redhead. If my calculations are correct, he has to pass through this area on his way back to the complex. He should be here any moment in that case. Ren patiently waits in the park, keeping an eye out for the red-haired boy. It takes about half an hour before he notices a familiar frame. That's Kazuya, but he's not alone. With his favorite headphones hung around his neck, Kazuya's walking together with 2 other males of similar age, exchanging words. After one of the guys says something, Kazuya even laughs a little. Sons of bitches, they're trying to steal my man. My targets have been located. Time to go fucking kill a few motherfuckers. It's the first time Ren notices Kazuya socializing with other people his age in such a carefree manner. Instead of interfering directly, Ren decides to observe the trio for a short while. Judging by their training bags, they must be members of the soccer team Kazuya plays for. Could the secret to getting along with Kazuya be playing soccer? Ren has never played soccer before, but he's naturally athletic. If playing soccer is a requirement, he has no doubt that he should be able to master the sport in little time. Ren has never played... Wait. Did it? Did I not click advance? After all they do is chuck a ball around the field and run around like their legs are on fire. As Ren contemplates over what type of entertainment anyone could possibly derive from playing the sport, Kazuya and his friends soon finish their conversation. Parting ways, Kazuya starts walking alone in Ren's direction. Ren waits until Kazuya was within earshot before approaching. Kazuya. Shit. Kazuya drops his training bag, taking a couple steps back in surprise. His eyes fly up to meet Ren's before he releases a relieved sigh. Oh, it's just you. Who the hell did you think it was? Ren raises his eyes to wave in greeting. The gesture still feels unnatural to him, but he's a firm believer in that practice makes perfect. Hello. Yeah, hi. Kazuya picks up his bag, then walks right past Ren as if he hadn't noticed him. Ren follows, slightly confused as to why Kazuya hasn't stopped to talk after his greeting. Why does he appear to be annoyed? Did I get the order of my greeting wrong? Kazuya throws Ren an annoyed glance from over his shoulder, beginning to walk faster. Being quite a bit taller though, Ren matches his pace without trouble. Why are you following me? We live in the same place. Don't remind me. But you're the one who asked. Don't remind me about that either. I should just have ignored you until the end. Whoa. Alright, anyway, I'd like to ask you a question. Kazuya groans, stopping in his tracks to glare at Ren. Look, I thought I already made it clear. I don't want to talk to you. But it's very important that I ask you this. Kazuya sighs, running his hands through his hair in what Ren believes to be frustration. Shaking his head, Kazuya motions for Ren to speak with an impatient wave. Alright, fine. Just make it quick. Based on your previous statements and behavior, I understand that you dislike me. Congratulations, only a real genius could have figured that one out. Kazuya thinks I'm a genius? I'm not quite sure that's true, but it definitely is a compliment. The appropriate action would be to thank him, right? Thank you. Anyway, I'd like to request to be more informed of the reason. The reason? The reason you dislike me. Kazuya stares at Ren in silence for a few brief moments, blinking slowly. Wow, you're actually dumbfounding. I'm not quite certain how to interpret that comment. Was it intended as a compliment or an insult? Kazuya rolls his eyes. Neither, obviously. And to answer your stupid question, I don't dislike you for any particular reason. Oh, so you just are a bitch, just like Granny said. But according to Sora, there has to be a reason for you to dislike me. If there's no reason, then it has to be a misunderstanding. Well, it's definitely not a misunderstanding. I just don't like you, and I don't trust you either. You give me bad vibes, and I'm sure you're going to end up causing trouble for Grandma one day. We've been fine until now by ourselves, so I don't need an outsider like you trying to mess things up. Racist, just because he's dark-skinned. An outsider? A foreigner? Someone of a different race? Yeah, no matter what Grandma says, that's what you are, and you always will be. No one likes someone who might hurt their family, right? It's as simple as that. I just can't trust that dark skin of yours. I see. Ren nods, starting to understand the situation. So to summarize these findings, you do not like me because you do not trust me. I give you bad vibes, and you are certain that I'm going to inconvenience Granny one day. You're probably the type of person that when you see a black person walking towards you on the sidewalk, you walk across the street, don't you? Family must be very important to normal people. As far as I'm aware, Granny's the only remaining member that Kazuya has, so that must make her even more important to him. Ren nods again, pleased with his conclusion. Understood. Kazuya bites back a grin, gazing at Ren with expecting and hopeful eyes. So you're going to leave me alone then? I'm unable to do that. Granny has requested that I befriend you, and I've decided to prioritize her order over yours, as she holds higher authority in your household. Kazuya throws his hands in the air. Ren interprets it as a gesture of surrender. For fuck's sake, you know what? Just do whatever you want. No, I intend to follow Granny's orders. I didn't mean it literally. Kazuya sighs, his forehead making contact with the palm of his hand. Ren isn't quite sure what this gesture implies, making a mental note to ask Sora or Haruto about it later. Let's just go, it's dinner time soon. Yes. As Kazuya starts walking again, Ren matches his pace again, staying by his side at what he believes to be an acceptable but friendly distance. This time, Kazuya doesn't protest, so Ren assumes that he's doing it correctly. I've noticed that the students often accompany each other back to their houses. As we live in the same place, this should be a very efficient bonding method. So what, you want to walk home every day now or something? Yes. Even if you wanted to, you can't. I've got soccer practice. Then I will keep myself occupied and meet you in the park once your practice is finished. That sounds like a waste of time, but it's not like you'll listen to what I have to say anyway. Do what you want. I already told you, I will not do what I want. My highest priority is Granny's orders. Stop taking everything I say literally. God damn it. Is he laughing? Despite the cursing, Kazuya's lips curl into a small smile. He appears to be holding back a chuckle. That is good. I believe it is a vital part of any companionship for people to make each other laugh. I should find out exactly what made him laugh. With that information, Ren should be able to make him laugh more often in the future and increase their chances of successfully bonding. Can you explain which part you have found funny? Kazuya's grin falls off his face as soon as the words leave Ren's mouth. And you're back to being uncomfortably weird again. I still do not understand. The way you talk is funny, okay? It's formal but also totally nonsensical. Elaborate. As they walk back to the house, Kazuya attempts to explain which parts of Ren's speech are strange. Although Ren is not quite sure he understands, he makes his best attempt to note of Kazuya's feedback. We are still not close, but I believe I have made sufficient progress. At this rate, we should hopefully become friends very soon. I should report my progress to Granny as soon as possible.